Welcome to this video brought to you by the Careers and Employability Service at the University of Huddersfield. My name's Laura Bird and I'm one of the careers advisors here at the university, and today I'm going to talk you through our top 10 tips for a successful student or graduate CV. Top tip number 1, make sure you have a purpose for your CV. The best CVs are written after seeing a job specification, not before. Consider who and what your CV is for. It should be changed and targeted to the exact requirements of each role you go for. For an example, let's have a look at this graduate level role which I've found on JobShop, our vacancy site. Here you can see the details of the role, so the job description, working hours, etc. And then down here we can see the essential and desirable criteria. So these are the areas that the employer needs to see in an application in order to progress them through to interview stage. So in order to make my CV effective for this role, I would need to ensure that each of these requirements is evidenced. I would suggest that a good starting point when putting your CV together is to do a quick brainstorm, outlining each of the criteria and considering how you could evidence them. You can use examples from university projects, work experience or extracurricular activities. We're going to come back to this job description later on in this video. Top tip number 2, consider your layout. So your CV needs to be a maximum of 2 sides of A4 and easy for an employer to read. So you want to avoid block text and paragraphs and use clear headings and bullet points. So let's take a look at my current CV. So there's lots of really good information on this CV, but at the moment it's kind of hidden in poor formatting. It's really not very appealing to look at. There's lots of block text throughout the CV. So I'm just going to focus on this first page for demonstration in this video and just do a couple of simple things to make the CV more appealing for an employer to read. So one really easy thing would be to pop our qualifications in bold so they draw the eye, make it really easy for the employer to see them. I would also recommend, if you are listing your work experience in reverse chronological order, that you put your dates up on the left hand side here. So it just makes it really easy when you're scanning down the document to see what you did and when. I'd also pop this in bold. So this is already starting to look quite a lot better, but we can see there's still quite a lot of block text in this section here in particular. We've also got a little typo there, so we'll just correct that. Okay, so I would recommend popping this in bullet points instead of this block text. So let's start here. So there we go, straight away now on that first page the whole CV is looking much more professional and easy to read. So top tip number 3, avoid clichés and generic language in your CV. So as careers advisors, we've read statements like the one on the screen there numerous times. You've got to think that every student or graduate could say that they're hardworking and conscientious. But A, there's no evidence of that in that statement, and B, it doesn't really make you stand out. So we're going to take another look at our current CV. So here's the profile we're looking to change and make it more targeted to the requirements of the role that we are applying for. I would encourage you to think about 3 things when you are writing your personal statement. So number 1, what is my current situation? Point number 2, think about what makes you stand out for this job. So let's bring the job specification back up. So we can see by reading through here that we need strong research skills, IT skills, ability to interrogate large volumes of data and various other transferable skills here. So in my profile I want to put something that is going to show that I have some of those attributes straight away and is going to be appealing to the employer, make them want to read on. So I'm going to focus on my research ability. Okay, so excellent research ability and then some evidence of that. So the final thing that we want to put in our profile is what it is that we're using this CV for. So there we go, a much more targeted and effective profile for our CV. Top tip number 4. Don't list skills on your CV without any evidence. This is a really common mistake in student and graduate CVs. So you want to make sure that if you're going to say you have skills in, for example, communication, teamwork, or customer service, that you back it up with examples. Let's take another look at our CV. So currently under our skills profile, we've just got these 4 very basic bullet points that state that I have excellent communication skills, experience of teamwork, etc. But there is no evidence currently. So really at the moment this is a pointless section. So instead, what we would recommend is that you pop, say, communication as your subheading. And then underneath here, you need to think about a time when you've demonstrated effective communication skills before. So, for example, okay, so it doesn't need to be a vast amount of information, but it needs to be enough to demonstrate that you do have that skill you are mentioning on your CV. Top tip number 5. So think about your CV's structure. Your CV is a moldable document. It needs to change depending on the job that you are using it to apply for. So you need to rearrange the order of your CV to make sure the employer sees the information that is most relevant to them first. So here we go. Let's bring up our job description again. We can see here that the employer is looking for that degree, but they're then also looking for a series of transferable skills and research-based experience and skills within this as well. At the moment, after our education, we've gone straight into our work experience. Whereas actually, what might be more valuable in that first page is our skills profile. So what we can do is just copy this and paste it up here. So the order in which you put the information on your CV is entirely up to you and what you feel is most marketable for the role that you are applying for. Top tip number 6, all experience counts. So when you're putting your CV together, make sure you think about all the things you've been involved with. You will have developed skills and experience from all areas of your life, so don't worry if you haven't got lots of relevant work experience at this stage. Make sure you include any volunteering, academic projects, part-time work, work in a different sector or overseas experience. If you're struggling with content to put on your CV, it will be worth coming to see us at the Career Centre so we can let you know about experiences you can get involved with at the university to help develop your employability. Top tip number 7, don't put style over substance. If you're a student or graduate looking to embark on a career in the creative industries, you may want to embed some of your design skills into your CV. And creative CVs are great if you're looking for a creative role, but make sure your design allows for sufficient content too. Remember, you can also submit a portfolio to demonstrate your creative flair. Here are a couple of examples of effective creative CVs that have managed to combine design with content to great effect. Top tip number 8, get involved. A CV is most interesting if it has experience on it, so get involved in societies, volunteering, part-time work, or even set up your own business. Top tip number 9, make sure your CV is free from spelling and grammar errors. This is probably the number 1 pet hate for most employers, so use that spell check and make sure you proofread your documents before you submit. And finally, top tip number 10, bring your CV to the Career Centre to get it checked by one of our qualified careers advisors. So you need to print off your CV and bring it along with a job description to one of our quick query sessions. For session times, just visit our website on www.hud.ac.uk/careers and click on Speak to an Advisor. Thank you for watching our video on top 10 tips for a successful CV. We hope you found it useful and look forward to seeing you again soon.